I don't normally do giveaways, but it felt like today's a special day, so I felt like we'd make an exception. I got a bunch of stuff from the sponsors, and I've got some playmats that I've been meaning to send out anyway. It seemed like a good excuse to do it. Just started graduate school. Any tips? I don't know. I found grad school way easier than undergrad. The classes are a little bit more challenging, but at least where I went, full time was considered like 9 to 12 credit hours as opposed to like 15 to 18, so the workload was just much lighter for me. Morning, trousers. It seems great. Our deck is full of sweepers and discard spells, so hopefully we play against a bunch of decks that really care about Wrath of God, and then we should be in a pretty good spot. Can we pay you to play Legacy on our team? I don't do much Legacy anymore. What's going on, DH Worlds? That is quite the hand. Remember when I said I was hoping we would, so here's the thing. In general, I'm pretty against taking their cantrips and hoping they miss, but Blood Moon beats me, and Through the Breach Emrakul beats me, and this Cryptic Command is also bad for me. They just like Jura Serum Visions. Welcome to Thunderdome. Yeah, just like, did someone say party, morning, beetle? Yeah, like, this is probably a matchup that's really bad for us. Like, our very greedy 2-color mana base is very weak to Blood Moon. So, I'm going to play out this Marsh Flats here and hopefully fetch a basic plains, but we're probably not going to be able to cast our spells here very soon. Yep. Welcome to Thunderdome. Stream Decker is bugged on mobile. It doesn't update correctly unless you manually clear the app cache. So you have to type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. Sweet. They missed. Alright, if they didn't draw a remand, Rad Chad could punch the clock and go to work here. I'm not fetching with this because I'd really like to draw basic planes like that. If you manually clear the cache for your Twitch app, it works fine. This is a start we need. They stumbled. If they don't have a remand here, we have to like make a 2/2 and then like 7 them. I think we're getting remanded though. Good news, we hit the basic planes though, so like we'll be able to cast this next turn through Blood Moon, which is nice. Red Dolph, thank you very much. What's going on? Alright, so there's the land. Okay, so they're not Blood Mooning us. That's good. I suppose we've, like, hit all of our lands here. I'm just going to jam the Gideon here again. We know they have Cryptic Command in hand, so we want to just make sure we get this in now. They didn't click us during the draw step, though. Yeah, I guess that says that they have something. I think we're supposed to just try and get it in now, though, because they hit another untapped blue source. They get to Cryptic Command at the following turn. Yeah, I think we're pretty dead, chat. Need more souls, man. We need more souls. The opponents run very well. Honestly, it probably doesn't really matter how they run, though. This matchup's probably pretty close to impossible for us. Honestly, I'm probably going to board in these surgical extractions alongside my collective brutalities and just, like, hope to take a breach and then surgical it, because the matchup's just that bad for us. Yeah. Hit the 5th land. And while we're not technically dead to the Emrakul, the game is over. So let's just, like, move along with our lives. Damping Sphere doesn't do enough here. I think I bring in Disenchant because Blood Moon's really annoying. I have plenty of really terrible cards to cut out of my deck. Honestly, leaving in Path to Exile is probably better than Fatal Push, because if I get one basic planes, I can, like, path my token to make it happen. Unmaking is probably fine for tagging Blood Moon as well. All right, let's do this. Yeah, I think our best shot of having like a long-term chance in this matchup is to like tag Breach with Thoughtseize or Brutality and then Surgical it. So that way we can like try and beat them in an actual fair game of Magic, like leave them stranded with a bunch of Emrakul's in their hand. Timeout, I got you, Chef Seth. They are not raffles. Raffles require purchase and are against the law. We are doing giveaways. I have a set of giveaways. You can enter by checking out that link there. Has the deets. Just put your info in, and then we'll notify. I think we've got like 20 things there. 15, 20 things, 16 things. 16. There'll be 16 winners that we'll pull later this weekend. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a lot of mileage out of the Stone Fortress sticky, but I'm looking forward to having that one for the next major modern event. I mean, this hand has basic lands and it's got a surgical if we can find the discard spells. So, like I said, I would not be surprised if we're extremely behind in this matchup and just need to like hope to steal it with this. CPSX, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. What is on the play mats? A bunch of different things. I've got a bunch of different mats. Giant stack of play mats from various events I've attended. Nope. Skull is the best keyword. Skulk is the best keyword. Thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. So I was like, Skull's not a keyword. Alright, so we're gonna get basic swamp, basic plains here. So we can play through Blood Moon. The Zetasphere, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed this month with that. Okay, some spells. This is, we talk about, Lightning Bolt being one of the best removal spells in Modern, and like, while Path is also a premium removal spell, matches like this really kind of show why Bolt is just such a good card, because matches like this, Lightning Bolt still has a text box, basically. It's a card that's going to be reach in addition to being a potential removal spell. Yep, yeah, we've added BCW as a new sponsor. So you'll see them scrolling down below at some point with the rest of them, and they'll be in our plugs, and we've got a code and stuff for them. Great products. Be sure to check them out. It's a Logic Knot. Here. I kind of feel like they have a remand here. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and fire up Shambles and smash in. And then next turn, I can Flashback Souls plus fire up Shambles. What's going on, Monster? Welcome. Bye, friend. Do I get to put my democracy towards something? So, as a heads up, tier 1 subs and Prime subs don't get free points to just add to the queue. There's details on how the donation queue system works there. The Pizza Leagues! Thank you for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. The benefit to tier 1 subs and Prime subs on the channel, in addition to helping me remain here day in and day out, is that you can add decks to the queue for just $10 instead of it being a minimum of $20 for you to add something to the queue. Can I have BCW sponsor my timeout? God bless. Mitsus, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. We're actually like almost in a position at this point where we could kill them. Spell Snare, where we could kill them even through an Emrakul. Lucatog, Jeff streams still better than oh, Lucatog. They finally renamed, I don't need to Surgical Through the Breach just yet. I can Surgical Through the Breach at a later date when they're closer to casting it. Yeah, someone put some big bucks on Amulet yesterday. Some big dollar dues. I'm gonna escalate this and turn this land into a drain here. It's like, don't really have a clock. Cheating, slow play isn't cheating. Stalling is cheating. Requires intent. Details matter. Yeah, I guess I'm just taking Supreme Will here. And like, we know they have this through the breach, so like, we're gonna get to Surgical this one before they get to 5 mana. And the reason why I wait to Surgical to through the breaches here is, while it does give him a chance to draw something like Dispel, it means that my opponent has more chances to draw more copies of through the breach, where we potentially take more cards out of their hand. I do think getting rid of the point you get for drawing a Match of Magic would be a good idea. That's something I've brought up in the past. Yes, stalling in Magic the Gathering is against the rules. Intentionally slow playing is against the rules. And then, you know, that always brings the question, like, how do you determine someone stalling versus slow play? Well, the same thing we determine someone has made a play mistake versus is actually cheating. We, you know, have judges talk to them and then look for intent. How mindful should we be of Mana Monkey? That's a good question. Yeah, so a draw would be the equivalent of loss to both players. That is correct. So the other thing too, though, to remember is that what's it called? A drawing a Match of Magic isn't the only reason to stall, is something that's important to remember. You can also gain an advantage. You can also gain an advantage by stalling to win a Match of Magic 101. So it's not just draws. All right, let's take a look at your deck here. What do you got past through the breach? You've got Jace and Snapcaster Mages. Sounds good. They're probably going to bring in other threats out of the board now that they saw we're on the Surgical Them plan, but they didn't have a ton that game. What's the Oops All Spells deck trying to do? It reanimates Laboratory Maniac and then cycles a Street Wraith to win the game. You actually find a bunch of videos of it on my YouTube channel. It's a deck we've played a bunch. Morning Apprentice. Love the Mad Cat plan in the sideboard of Breach. Is that good? Just like board one mediocre combo into another? It seems fine. Not super exciting, but fine. How do I feel about Bobby Nix? I like Bobby Nix. He's okay. He generates card advantage. He kills things. I like that he can impact the board, which is nice. Like, Modern's a format that's about being able to impact the board. So, like, he checks a lot of the boxes you're, like, interested in checking. Yeah, we did. We added a new sponsor. We've got BCW Supplies. I stopped by their booth at Gen Con and picked up a bunch of their stuff when they were talking about potentially being a sponsor, so I could shuffle with and play with their stuff before I took them on as a sponsor, because I try not to take sponsors that aren't things I haven't used to validate that they're good things. And I've been on their sleeves for a while, and they're pretty good stuff. Their elite cards are good durability at a pretty decent price. Thanks, Gab. Would I play Jeskai Nahiri on stream again? Yeah, I think that deck's really sweet, Mason. I think that archetype is great. Does Stoneforge sponsor this stream? Stoneforge actually works with me personally. She doesn't pay for her sponsorship. She like sends me notes from prison, like asking for my help. So I'm just doing my best to help a gal out. I'm just doing my best to help a gal out. Alright, let's cast this Night's Whisper, see where we go from there. Donation goal, post bail for Stoneforge mistake, right? That's why she's banned, because she's associated with you, basically. Basically. So, I think I'm going to lead on Lingering Souls here. There is an appeal to getting Gids down under Cryptic Command, but they've shown us Izzet Charm as a Spell Pierce effect, so I think I'd rather lead on Lingering Souls here. That is a great draw. Don't Cryptic into untap, kill me. Don't Cryptic into untap, kill me. Don't negate into untap, kill me. Let this resolve, have a Through the Breach I could Surgical. Let this resolve, have a Through the Breach I could Surgical. They brought in Surgical against me. Huh. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So, did I just flashback Lingering Souls then, so the Surgical doesn't do anything? I think so. Zigzags, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month. I'm just gonna go ahead and Surgical now so they can't draw a Negate or a Cryptic Command. Just like take their combo kill out of their deck. Oh, they're gonna Surgical. Got it. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. They're Surgicaling my target because they're gonna choose to leave the other copies in their deck. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, they're gonna Surgical back. That's fine. We like turned our Surgical into a shock. You do not need to be a sub to win a giveaway. You just gotta fill out the form. Just have to fill out the form. Whoa! They didn't draw it right away, chat. I'm so confused. I'm so confused, chat. They didn't just have it. I don't understand what's going on. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. So I'm gonna discard and drain. I'm gonna bin Sorin. I think this game's gonna be over before we get there. Just trying not to die here. Staying alive, staying alive. Why would I leave a Spirit back? We're not winning this game if we get Emrakul. Don't play around things you can't beat. Don't you dare draw running counter spells. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah. So long through the breach. All right. Sweet. We might steal this. Might get to steal this. Morning, Fedged. Alright, not firing up the Shambling Vents to present lethal because we know our opponent is a Lightning Bolt. Nah, there's no reason to take the Bolt. Like, now... Oh, I forgot to plus this. Whatever. That actually matters, so they could bolt this into untap, draw Anger. So, it's actually a sizable mistake. So, like, they need to beat the Spirits, the Gideon, and the Shambling Vent at this point. They cannot. Sweet. Always feels good to start off winning a hard matchup. Like I said, I think generally speaking, this deck's going to be pretty absurd in matchups where Our Wrath of Gods, Damnations, Bontus have text boxes, but in the matches where they don't, we're definitely going to struggle a little bit. Especially game 1 when, especially game 1 when we have all these sweepers or indexes don't do anything. What's going on, Johnny Redeemed? Good morning. Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for being here. For those of you just joining us, make sure you check out not only our giveaway, but we have a new sponsor as well. I'm going to add the new sponsor to the stream title. Should have done that from the start. Giveaway, new sponsor, and then lots of decks. My stream titles are long, chat. Alright, is this a keep? Is this a keep? I feel like this is a keep. This is like a really slow evolving wilds, assuming they're not playing like 12, 20 basic mountains. Watching me playing like Merfolk and just have all basic islands. Or like mono green Stompy. I'm still sorting the details on the desk sponsorship. I think we're going to roll that out. I think we're going to have the details together, roll that out next week. Today we've added BCW supplies. They do card sleeves and binders and all sorts of stuff like that. Deck boxes, things of that nature. I think I just want to hold the brutality here. Hardened Scales is a matchup where our sweepers have text boxes, so I have to imagine this matchup's like kind of okay for us. Hangboy here, 10 out of 10. Just gonna go ahead and just get this one out of here. It's one of their better cards against our sweepers. Do they have sleeves for our digital cards? They do not. I'm actually really surprised that Moto doesn't have custom card backs. It's just like such an easy thing to do. For Stoneforge Mystic Veils, we could get their chat. Thank you, Apprentice of Elder Dragons, for the support. I'm just going to go ahead and play Field of Ruin here so we can take them off this Pendelhaven. Actually, I'm going to Pendelhaven them now on the off chance their deck is like absurdly greedy and they don't have a third basic. Love the deck list page on the website. Do you think you will cap the number of lists in each section? Do you have a list of my personal favorites from your deck list? That's not a bad idea. Like the Hoogel's picks, maybe. Just like these are the decks that I love playing. Runes of Orin Reef. That is an interesting one. That seems really sweet in this deck, sans it being a tapped land. Alright, so I think I'm gonna brutality this. And like, they could sack both of these to keep this alive, but then I just like untap and Bontu's them next turn, which seems fine for us. The Scales deck is tilting to play against. That's so funny when people say things like that. The Scales deck seems really interesting. It's got a lot of neat lines going on. I often describe Modern as the format where it's the only format that has 50 decks you can play, and everybody hates all of them. Wow, that is a heck of a grind engine there. Alright, well, we're gonna axe that one. We We really need that actual factual Wrath of God to play through this Welding Jar. The fact that this Bontu's isn't actual Wrath of God is, like, kind of super relevant. That's a little rough, too. Yeah, if we don't hit, like, an actual can't be regenerated sweeper here, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. I mean, chat, like, we're dead assuming, like, they have actual, like, zero respect for, like, a Path to Exile or a Fatal Push here. Like, you're sitting here, like, you can't play these interactive decks if you're just gonna concede to everything like this. You just can't. Alright, I'm gonna kill this and then cast the Bontu's. Nope. I believe it says that on the thing. Yeah, it says that on the thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing interactive decks in Modern. Just generally, you want to play interactive decks that are a little bit more proactive to be in a good spot. So they get to save their Arcbound Ravager, which will be huge, which means we're dead. McCullough with the $50 donation. Thank you very much. Congrats on 2,000 sub points. This is to celebrate the accomplishment and commission the most competitive deck, modern deck around Grave Titan to be played October 5th. That is a very specific date. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you for the support. I will get that in the queue, and that gives me plenty of time to think about it. My opponent has 3 cards and 3 open mana. Let's just sack everything and make 1 big creature and win. Hashtag Twitch chat, right? But Jeff, we know you have nothing. Don't they know you have nothing? Alright, so this slew of cards seems fine. I guess this is probably too much mana. My desk gave me a static shock. Alright, so we want the spot removal, we want the sweepers, we want the Stonys and the Disenchants, I think I want the Collective Brutalities. Trimming the Night's Whispers against the aggressive deck is probably fine. In other card games, there are anti-meta decks, basically strategies that use specific cards to answer some core metagame mechanics. Since Modern is so diverse, these kinds of strategies, correct. Yeah. No, I wouldn't classify Prison and Blood Moon decks as anti-meta, I just classify them as bad. They're bad because the subset of decks they can play upon aren't popular enough. In fact, my article on Cool Stuff Inc. this week talked explicitly about why I think metagaming like that is bad. It's my last day as a bachelor. Sounds good, McCullough. So I conceded there because I realized that, because I was dead, Pythrion, because they could only save one of their artifact creatures, so they were going to sack everything to the Ravager because their things were going to die anyways, and then regenerate the Ravager. So their only play that makes sense is to go all in on the Ravager because everything else is dying anyways. I did not see anything from you, Destraminator. I don't believe. Check your PayPal if you sent it that way. Sam Stanton, thank you for the 713 subscription. No, Johnny, you do not. It says that when you enter. It says that in the thing. We're gonna do the drawing later. I'm not doing the drawings on stream. Drawings on stream takes away from time we could be playing Magic. I'm gonna trim an Inquisition. Nah, I'm not. Am I? Yeah, I'm gonna trim an Inquisition. I think Lingering Souls is pretty important in this matchup. Not only does it provide chump blockers, but we have to actually kill our opponent, chat. This deck doesn't have enough threats to be cutting tons of threats. Play Legacy and do drawings while you wait for matches. I saw someone post a screenshot of their Brawl League where it timed out looking for an opponent after an hour. All right, I'm going to make the title even longer and put what we're celebrating in there because everybody keeps asking about it. What's going on, Jays? Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. The title is now updated. We have Modern 2K subpoint celebration stream, exclamation point giveaway, new sponsor, exclamation point BCW, and then a bunch of deck names that people aren't going to read anyways. I've used all but 5 of the allowed characters for my stream title. Yep. Are Canadians eligible for the giveaway? So Cool Stuff Inc. and the signed playmats. Cool Stuff Inc. ships international, and the signed playmats I'm going to send out international. But the BCW and Inked Gaming stuff is only domestic. Only US. Well, their hand is really bad, so we're going to take Ancient Stirrings. We're going to play this Godless Shrine tapped. We're going to pass the turn. Weens! Thank you for the 9-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed for 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Use the last 5 titles of the character. Don't leave points on the board. Alright, so this is actually really important. We're going to make sure we use the Day of Judgment next turn because the opponent's deck does actually have the ability to regenerate. So we want to prioritize keeping Wrath of God in hand for if they find a jar later. That bad control player with the 4-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks for re-upping again there. Welcome back. Thank you for the 1/3 of a year of support there. And Desolate. Thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff. Thanks for choosing to support mine this month. Welcome. Welcome to everybody. Everyone's having a great Friday. TGIF, welcome to the weekend. Walking ball. Yep. So now the question becomes, how aggressive do I want to be with these sweepers? So I could sandbag the sweeper, but the problem with that is then I can't just like deploy a bunch of Lingering Souls and start pressuring them. So I think I actually want to basically just 1-for-1 this Wrath of God, so that way I can like put 8 souls into play and then use my spot removal to pick them apart while we kill them. I actually kind of think in this deck the Day of Judgment is kind of too cute. I think because we have like Damnation and Wrath of God and Bontu, we like already have plenty of diversity in our removal suite. So I think just like not having more that destroy can't be regenerated is kind of just being too cute. This though. Morning, Paula. Yep. Gonna go ahead and get this out of here now before it gets us into some trouble. Blue Newbie, thank you for the 9-month resub and welcome back. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Slow and steady. I wanted to get Melon today. Do I need to bump it enough to have more than decks in the queue? So my rule is if you want to interrupt the decks that are currently marked as today, you have to get a deck to 100 points is my rule. If I have time to do more than I already have marked for today, I'm just going to pick decks from the top of the queue down. But my set plan is to do the... I have a lot picked out because we're going for a long time. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I have nine things pulled already. Yep. And again, I know that's a lot, that number is intentionally a lot to discourage people from doing it. What if instead we didn't do that and we sent you on a path to exile? Alright, Dub Sweeper, discard, double spot removal. Let's see if this can maybe get us there. Thanks, Mato. Ooh. Woo! Found a piece of candy, chat. Found a piece of candy. Have you noticed more Hardened scales Affinity? No, not really. This deck's always been a little bit popular in Magic Online. Magic Online tends to be a little bit ahead of the trend that gets set in paper because the market for getting and selling cards online is a lot more fluid than paper. So you'll see new decks like this pop up a lot sooner. Thanks, Deckline. Welcome. Good morning. So, should be a lock at this point, especially with the Stony Silence. I'd rather just get the Stony Silence into play and just, like, not worry about... Oh, are you saying instead of Field of Ruining them? Yeah, maybe I could do that instead of fielding them. Yeah, like, there's no doubting it. Like, as far as... If just, like, playing a lot of Magic is your goal, then Magic Online is just, like, far better at that than anything else. Anything Paper Magic could ever muster. It's gonna be curious to see how our numbers are today. I actually didn't realize that, what's it called? That we had a 3-day Grand Prix this weekend. It's Legacy today, though, so we'll see. And we should be going past when the Grand Prix is gonna finish, I'd imagine. They only do 8 rounds on day 1 now. Yeah, it's one of the double GP weekends. But none of the GPs are modern, too, so I'm not really worried about it. I also think Chalice is pretty bad in Modern. So I'm not really a fan of that deck, Spartan. I don't think it's doing anything that's very powerful or worth exploring. So if they had Stirrings, they would have played it already, right? So there's no reason to escalate this. I think all of the cards in my hand are better than 2 life. Is that true? This Bitterblossom's probably not, actually. Yeah, I'm actually going to discard the Bitterblossom to drain them. This is probably a game where we could die with cards in our hand. Actually, it's really weird. I almost feel like they probably could have planned better. And, like, it's a 3-day weekend in the US anyway. So, like, why wouldn't you, like, do the GPs, like, Saturday to Monday? I'm just going to go ahead and disenchant this now so they don't get more Thopters out of it. Damping Sphere is a card I'm kind of conservative about bringing in addition to the ones that you call out, Storm and Tron. I think it's, like, okay against, like, Ad Nauseam, but other than that, there aren't really other decks that I bring it in against, I don't think. I mean, people have to work on Friday, too, but there's, like, almost certainly more people that work Friday than this coming Monday, right? Only losing to humans. I think anybody that's writing an article classifying a deck as good in the meta doesn't understand Modern. Stop trying to play decks that you think are good in the meta. Modern doesn't have a metagame. Modern doesn't have a metagame. Destrominator with the big $70 donation. Donating for Heartless Gitrog. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's a big donation. That'll get us right to. Can we beat this card? Remember when I spent my Disenchant into? I basically just can't beat this card, right? I am currently standing. I split my time while streaming, sitting and standing. Because if I, especially on days like today, right? Like if I was sitting for 12 hours, my body would not be happy at the end of it. Just play decks that you think are good, not decks that you think are good metagame choices. So if Gideon gets 10 poison, he loses the game, right? And then I think I'm just going to field this Inkmoth Nexus as well here. Can you put a deck in the queue and have me build the mana base? Not for $10, but for more than that, I'm happy to build the mana base. And this is something that I reject decks sometimes that people send me deck lists. My first response to them are, have you actually played games with this deck? And that there a lot of times people will respond like, well, no. And it's like, well, maybe you should play some games and then resubmit it after testing it a little bit yourself. Would you bring in Damping Sphere against KCI? Yeah. KCI is a deck that needs cast multiple spells on turn to go off. So, Lad Chad is dead here. I get to 1-for-1 a Damnation with this, but like we're still not excited about this, right? Let's say for 25, Chef Seth. For 50, I build an entire deck, so half of that I'll do your mana. This is just too much card advantage, right? And this is one of the reasons why the Hardened Scales deck is like so efficient, right? Like in addition to having like these really explosive nut draws, it's got draws like this where we kind of are just like super far behind while they're grinding. Drawing our second and only other Disenchant here for this evolutionary leap is huge. This could give us a fighting chance. Yeah, definitely grindier than Affinity. I found another Walking Ballista. That's really unfortunate. I was going to play out Lingering Souls, but I guess now we're just like putting Lad Chad into play here. No, not really, Fragnads. I don't spend time investing energy into things like that. I just worry about like things that are like actually gonna have impact on my life, like what the actual cards do. Massivic, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Damnation. 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 Wrath of God. I already played Damnation, so we have one Wrath of God left. Watch us draw the Day of Judgment and just, like, not be able to win because of the Welding Jar. How's life? Life is absurd, Stumpy. Just, life is absurd in the most wonderful way. Could not ask for more. I appreciate it. Thanks for sending the Bezo bucks over here. I think I'm just gonna plus here. I think I'm double lingering. I think it's just double linger because if they wanna like spend resources from this Walking Ballista killing these spirit tokens, I think that's a worthwhile exchange for us. Wow, those are good. Wow, those are good. Second match. We won the first match against Blue-Red Breach. 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Half a year already. Unfortunately, I'm only looking at YouTube viewing for the future with the new job. Well, Mr. Lifeguard, thanks for the half a year of support. I appreciate it. I'm going to try and make a point to do at least one evening stream, one stream into the evening a week moving forward. Like this week we had Monday and we're going to have Friday, but I'm going to try and at least do one opposite schedule stream basically so people that can't catch during the day can still catch me live a little bit. They pretty much have to make a blue cantrip with Surveil, don't they? Yeah, I bet we'll get Surveil 1 draw card. Because it's like technically better than Opt, right? Or Surveil is like mostly better than Scry. Alright, this attack is actually really good for us here. Because it means Gideon Jura gets to destroy this walking ballista. Congrats on the 2K, Jeff. Dr. Bursky, thank you. Thank you for the 4-month resub. Thanks for keeping me employed and being a part of it. Building blue-white control and paper, and I'm debating between Gideon of the Child versus Elspeth in my sideboard leaning. I think Elspeth's the better board card if you're looking to go bigger. Gideon of the Child is more of a main deck card in my mind. If I have a sideboard Planeswalker in my control deck, I want it to generate big card advantage. And Elspeth definitely does that better than Gideon does. This is, this is just so absurd. So I'm going to start by shipping all of these into Karn here. Hardened Scales Affinity? Yeah, I think the Hardened Scales Affinity deck is sweet. I actually think, I think it's actually in the queue, Isabus. The Scales deck. Yeah, Mono Green Scales is currently at 52 points, and Green White Scales is at 42. So there's actually 2 iteration of the Scales deck in the queue already. So if I kill this and then fetch, I can still play Dad Chad here, which is nice. Oh my god. How does that even happen? Oh, this client sometimes. Well, now we're definitely dead. Now we're definitely dead. I need to be careful when I'm holding creatures. For some reason, when I'm holding my... So there, for people that are familiar with Magic Online, there's a hotkey that when you hold it, it chooses the first type of mana for a thing. And for some reason, when you click on creature lands while holding that hotkey, it chooses to activate the creature land instead. That's not the first time that's happened to me. And the exact same thing we were doing last time was what happened when it happened. Alright, while we're waiting for the third match in this league to pop, I'd like to thank everyone for hanging out here today. Welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time stream, meme, magic, producing content machine, whatever you want to call me here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic, mostly modern, 30-plus hours a week. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the reason that I'm able to do this full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. BCW Supplies would like to help you protect your gaming gear at excellent prices. You can use code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com to save 10% on all of your orders there with them. Honey is a free browser add-on that when you install it using link bit.ly/HugoHoney, you'll be supporting my content here at absolutely no cost to yourself. What Honey does is when you're shopping online, it takes a look at stuff you've thrown in your shopping cart and then searches automatically for coupon codes to save you some money on things you're going to be buying anyways. Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 2 months now, and we really enjoy it. I don't think we'd ever go back to a traditional pillow top mattress. You can save $160 or more on your new mattress with them by checking out link bit.ly/HugoBedUS or bit.ly/HugoBedCA. What do you think of Flashback, but a discard mechanic jumpstart? I think it's worth Flashback until they make something broken. I think, again, Magic players just, love jumping on the... Thanks, Handy Dart. Magic players love jumping on the this has to be good or this has to be bad without all the information. If I could just drive 1 point home with the Magic community that so many people don't get, and this is why people think Stoneforge Mystic is too good. The power level of everything in Magic is contextual to what is going on around those cards. So a mechanic like Jumpstart might be absurd. It might be unplayable, but we don't actually know until we know the details of what cards and effects that these things are stapled onto. Look, no numbers. Thank you for the 8-month resubscription. Thank you for the 2/3 of a year support, and welcome back. Grinding Station, Sword of the Meek. Oh dear. Oh dear. Somebody asked me what I think of this deck versus a deck like Green Black Rock, and in my experience playing mid-range and interactive decks in Modern, I think this archetype is generally speaking worse than Green Black Rock, and the reason for that thought and feelings is because this archetype is much worse in matchups like this, where you need to actually kill your opponent because your Doomblades and Sweepers aren't good. Like, when Green Black Rock comes into a matchup like this, it's got Fatal Pushes that are dead draws that aren't going to do anything. When this deck comes into a matchup like this, we've got Fatal Pushes, we've got Damnations, we've got all these cards that just don't have text boxes. Fragnads, put some love on blue-black thing. Will do, Fragnads. Thank you for the continued support. I appreciate that. For people who aren't familiar, my tier 3 subs every month, they get to either add a new deck to the queue or bump a deck that's already in the queue by 40 points. You know, one of the things that I thought about when I looked at this deck initially, and I almost changed it, but I wanted to see how they felt in the league just because we had sweeper effects too. My gut says that it's probably a mistake for this archetype to not be playing 4 Path to Exile. I think playing any Fatal Pushes before you're all in on the Path to Exiles is a mistake. I think Path to Exile between just exiling and just being able to hit any cost of creatures is just much, much better than Fatal Push in general. And another thing to think about in a deck like this is we're less punished in this deck for giving them extra basic lands because we're going to be Field of Rooting them anyway. So basically, we're going to tax the number of basic lands most decks have to begin with. What's going on, Rix? Welding Jar, rude. I assume the Sweeper split is Meddling Mage related. So I'm going to kill this Scrap Trawler here with Fatal Push after I field, obviously, to enable Revolt. And this way I can Thoughtseize whatever they Scrap Trawler back to their hand. Alright, they've got Stone Cold Nuttin'. Sarah and Ray, I love watching you. I'm new to Magic and I learn a lot. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here and thank you for the support while you watch. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Friday. Thanks for the 3 months of support there. Oh, we hit War of Invention. All right, what are we worrying for? Oh, geez, we're just like super dead, right? Just like can never beat this this sword and stuff. All right, so at least we have a plan for artifact decks, even if we did misclick through. That plan being good enough in the last match. It's actually probably a matchup where I want Night's Whisper. They're not particularly aggressive, and I want the ability to... what's the words I'm searching for? I want the ability to find my hate cards more consistently. Damping Sphere does meaningfully impact one of their combos, but they have a few different combos in their deck, so I don't think I'm going to bring that in. I think that's, like, not the axis I want to fight this matchup on. I would love to play first. Thank you for asking, Magic Online. Nope. Yeah, it seems like okay, right? Doesn't matter what we top here, because we're gonna go fetch Thoughtseize on 1. And I think I'm gonna Lava Axe myself here, just fetch Shock Thoughtseize, because this way if we draw Field of Ruin or another basic swamp, we can still cast Gideon on 2. It's not showing me as streaming. Weird. Yeah, it does. It shows on mine, Burgle. They brought in Psy. Okay, this probably means I'd rather have, Psy probably means I'd rather have Fatal Push than Collective Brutality. Yeah, we're gonna get to Surgical for value. I'm not gonna Surgical right away, because again, I want to give them the chance to draw more Scrap Trawlers. But on turn 3, I'm going to Surgical Scrap Trawler during their draw step. Listen, chat, believe it or not, I'm not Discord support. All I'm gonna say is it says report your bugs to Discord. Maybe use Discord on a real operating system. It says live on Twitch. Live on Twitch. Hey, Kurneshi, Kurataneshi. I'm gonna go with Kurataneshi. Thank you for the 2 months and welcome back. I appreciate it. And Mixed Master Haggis, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub there. I appreciate that. Welcome. All right, so we're gonna put... I was gonna say we're gonna put Lad Chad into play here, but we're definitely just putting Stony Silence into play. And then we're gonna draw step Surgical this Scrap Trawler here. And I'm gonna leave my white source up so that way we can path Psy if they plan on casting that this turn. How many Psy did they bring in? They brought in 3 Psy. Okay, so I probably want to leave some sweepers in my deck even. They're also okay against Sly Requisitioner. How much money would it take to allow Twitch to play Magic on your stream? Probably a significant amount. That sounds like a waste of time. So this will be Psy into Memnite. Or not. Sure, get him out of here. It does sound like a great way to time out. Alright, we drew our sideboard card against the artifact deck. Things are probably going to bode well for us here. Talking about timing out, where's mine? I got you. We live to serve here. Nope. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the hoops you have to jump through to use Prime on mobile are related to the app stores. The app stores rules. Apple especially has a lot of really weird specific rules about how your app is allowed to send money to people. And Twitch Prime subbing is basically sending money to people even if it's not you sending me the money directly. I'm buying into the Landfall aggro deck thanks to the recent videos. D20 Bandit, enjoy. The deck's a lot of fun. Like me. The deck, like, scratches a lot of different itches all at the same time. It, like, has reasonable combo draws some of the time, has grindy mid-range draws with Tireless Tracker, could just be a one-for-one removal deck, does a lot of things. Do I want some of these? Now, I think I'm just going to bring the Fatal Pushes in to always be able to kill Psy. I think this deck's okay. I think it's playing a lot of quality interaction that these colors get to play. But it definitely comes up short in the clock section. So I know we joke about Stoneforge Mystic a lot on this channel, but this is actually a fantastic example of a deck that would love to have access to Stoneforge Mystic. Having a way to just, like, even while the 4/4 isn't a fast clock in Modern, it's faster than a lot of the clock that this deck can present. So this deck would love access to that card. Thumbs 3000, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's hoops we could jump through to get Twitch Prime subs workable. Yeah, if you have to open the Twitch website in your mobile browser and then hit request desktop site, and then you'll get this really awkward tiny thing where you can see the desktop site in your mobile browser. Yeah, and like the lifelink from Batterskull would be good because then you could play like more Bitterblossoms or more draw 2 gain 2s. Congrats on living the dream. Thank you, Brecken Sky, for the bits, and morning Anner. Y'all are the ones that enable this to be a thing for me, so I appreciate that. I'm just gonna go shock Stony Silence here, just kick them while they're down. And then we have Lingering Souls. And even if they draw like a Psy here, like we get to path the Psy, and then like our Lingering Souls tokens can deal with whatever they generated. Plus we've got this Shambling Vent as well, which is great. Colonel Sanders 22. Welcome, 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 and thank you for the support. Thanks for putting your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate that. If they have Psy this turn, just scrap Trawler. Deal. Alright, so I'm going to field this Watery Grave so I can then Fatal Push the Scrap Trawler. If I had to play a team unified Modern Tournament, what decks play on my team? I don't know. I'd have to put some thought into that. Unlike a lot of Magic players, I go into events very prepared. So I don't... When people ask me questions like that, what would you do if you were going to go to this event? My answer is always the same. It's like, well, I would spend time preparing for that event. But I'm not going, so I haven't prepared. It's payday. Enjoy some bits and have a great Labor Day weekend. Thank you. I do plan to be live on Monday, by the way, as usual. Monday is a holiday in the U.S., but we don't have any huge plans. Brecken Sky doling out the sub giftaroonies. Thank you very much and welcome. Enjoy your new Stoneforge Mystic and other wonderful emotes, folks. And be sure to pop into the subs Discord. Lots of good chats in there. I got you, Fragnads. I got you. Hope you have a good start to your school year, Brecken. We have more, there are more than just timeouts that are free today. So we do have a giveaway that's going on. So if you type !giveaway in chat, you'll be able to find a link to that. Have we played blue-white taking turns with, I don't know what with control. We've played blue-white taking turns on this stream more than once, and every time we play it, it's terrible. It's really bad. So details on how my donation decks work can be found here at bit.ly/HugoSellout. All the details on what different level subs get and stuff like that. Just easier for you to take a quick read there and then ask me if you have any questions on specifics after giving it a read. Edge Freak, thank you for the brand new Prime. I appreciate that. Welcome. When we actually played the opponent's deck on stream pretty recently, and it was really sweet and interesting, but this game's kind of an example of one of the pieces of feedback I had on it, which was, while it's doing something that feels powerful, it just, like, it loses to cards that people are playing in Modern anyways, because playing artifacts is a liability in this format. Playing artifacts is a liability in this format. So, we've assembled a clock plus some disruption here. What are we worrying for? They're worrying for 4. What are we worrying for 4 for? I'm a little scared, chat. I'm a little scared. What do we have that costs 4 that's scary? Should have taken better note when we surgicaled them last game. Should have taken a picture. Just another scrap trawler. Okay. I almost surgicaled their scrap trawlers in response, but I really don't care if they get another one, right? I just, like, get to path it and just, like, move on with our lives. Yeah, to a degree, Mr. Lifeguard. Gross. Man, are we dead? We might be dead here because I didn't put it back up Stony Silence into play. This surgical might help us not be dead here. So they didn't hit a sword here, and then next turn we just get to, like, re-up our Stony Silence plus Path to Exile the Scrap Trawler, just, like, go to town, right? Thanks, Sad Man, I appreciate it. I do try to do my best around here. Ob Wobies, thank you for the brand new Tier 1 sub there, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed this month, I do appreciate it. Yeah, worrying for 4 is actually just, like, strictly correct there. I didn't even need the Stony Silence, right? Just kill them. Dice Incarnate Gamer, thank you for the $15 donation. Congrats on the 2K. Put this towards Marty Possibility Storm since that deck seems ridiculous. It does, doesn't it? Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. We had a couple different, there were a couple different roads that led to Rome there, killing the opponent. We had Gideon Emblem. We had killed both their things, attack for 8. So a few different ways to end up where we were going. The Nice Twin with the $10 donation. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Best of luck in the extended stream today. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Got a lot of sweet decks to work through here. Long streams like this are win-win. We get to hang out and celebrate and give some stuff away. Got a new sponsor today too. In addition to the giveaways, we'd like to welcome BCW Surprise to the shilling party. Seems pretty decent. I actually really like this card in Modern in general. What deck am I most looking forward to playing today specifically? The early Harvest deck seems kind of sweet. But the Grixis Delver deck, I actually am kind of looking forward to playing as far as, like, decks that aren't complete memes go. I should have something set up next week for standing desk stuff, gamer. Should have something set up next week. Where did my tea go? There it is. They kept 7. What keeps 7 and concedes to turn 1 Thoughtseize? Justin, tier 3 subs either add a new deck to the queue with 30 points, or they add 40 points to a deck that's already in the queue. How do am I supposed to, alright, I'm gonna ask Twitch chat a question I probably shouldn't ask. Do I board in Surgical in the Dark against someone that conceded to turn 1 Thoughtseize? I feel like we're supposed to. I feel like it's not even a meme, it's like probably just correct. Yep, BCW Supplies. So they do sleeves and binders and deck box and all sorts of other gaming accessories here. Always. I knew what Twitch chat's answer to that was gonna be, but I just wanted to double check to make sure I was still on point. Edwin, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Surgical! Anironics throwing his wallet on the table. We'll get there. We'll get there. You don't have 4 surgical extractions to the board to not side them in against turn 1. That's true. That's very true. I'm gonna mulligan this. See where we go from here. I feel like Bogles could be a reasonable what they're playing. Did they keep 7 by mistake? Did they, like, keep a 7 with no... I'm so confused. It's a trick. We've been tricked, chat. We've been played. We've been had. They must have misclicked keep by mistake, right? They must have just, like, kept, like, a landless 7 or something. I mean, they're getting a free game 2 because they gave us a free game 1. This is, like, the next level where they're playing a best of 1 match and they think their deck is best in a best of 1 match. That was not Collective Brutality, so we're probably dead here. I'm actually going to go ahead and cast this Night's Whisper because my testicles are huge. Alright, we need something that's brutal. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we cast the Night's Whisper. So we could do this. I'm gonna discard the 2 lands. I'm gonna discard the 2 lands. Yeah, I mean, Brutality into push into Gids, like, this gives us a lot of play here, right? Do I take the Palm or do I take the Rift Bolt? The Palm means Gideon kills them slower, but Rift Bolt's, like, really awkward, right? I'm gonna do this now in case they draw Boros Charm. So we could technically die next turn, but I think our chances of winning the game increase long term if we can just like get this to 4 and keep him going. I should have played the land, right? Because if I draw untap land, I could double linger, and now I can't. Yeah, super punished for making a really stupid mistake there. Don't hold lands, chat. Punishes you more often than not. So should have 2 extra. I should have my other spirits in play right now, but I don't because I've messed up. So this is now a threat that's also gained us 4. Yep, the giveaway is up. I'm gonna hold on to the Inquisition for now. Feel like there's no reason to run it out there. I can use this to spot check for a Skull Crack the turn before we try to gain life if we draw something else to gain life with. Kenner, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime sub there. I appreciate that. Welcome. All right, would really like to draw a Rad Chad. I will take a Lad Chad though. Lad Chad is a close second. This effectively gets rid of that. We've got them on a 4 turn. It also gains us a minimum of 4, right? Like it's soft removal here and it gains us life. Because we have the Gideon emblem from earlier. Gosh! Boarded in 4 surgicals against Burn. What happened game 1? We Thoughtseize them on turn 1 and they conceded the game. I have no idea why Burn would concede to turn 1 Thoughtseize, but here we are. Here we are. Oh, ask them. No, I had boarded out Dad Check, so we weren't sure what they were doing. I cut all our top end. So, we always 3-2 or 4-1 when we play this archetype. If you want to play, like, this is the style of deck that's a perfect example of going slightly bigger as a mid-range deck. So, if your format or your local store has a lot of decks like Green-Black mid-range and Mardu Pyromancer and other mid-range decks, this, with all these Planeswalkers, is a good way to get a little bit bigger than those decks. But I think against a lot of the combo-oriented decks that don't care about sweeper effects, this deck's definitely a little bit worse than something like Green-Black Rock against decks that are trying to get underneath you. This is definitely a keep. Feels bad that I can't play this on one, though. Yeah, everybody, if you're just getting in, make sure you fill out the giveaway form there. Got a bunch of sweet stuff from various sponsors and myself to send out to folks all over. The best way to upgrade your sub, if you click on the subscribe button on the desktop, you should get an option there to upgrade your sub. I'm going to Night's Whisper here on 2 because I just want to try and hit all my land drops so we can cast a sweeper here. This is another matchup where potentially having Day of Judgment instead of Wrath of God could cost us because they have Azuri to regenerate their elves. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, make black, cast Inquisition, cast Bitterblossom. Eternal Witness. Yep, that's the one. And we'll see if they play how hard they play into a sweeper here. They could empty their hand here. If they want to be conservative, this is where they should stop. Awesome, Pikes. So that'll give us some good contrast here. We're going to play Amulet Titan after this, but we're going to play the red-black deck as a follow-up to that one. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, yeah. Yeah, drain me, baby. Give it to me, Elves. Give it to me, Elves. If we enter once we're in... Yep, yeah, and actually I'm not going to pull winners during today's stream. We're going to pull them over the weekend. So I don't want people to feel you don't have to be watching the stream to win. Just have to jump in and grab the link at some point. And then Rad Shed here is gonna close the game out real fast. The opponent confirmed not ghosting. Yep. We'll send the winners notification emails probably by Monday. What if we lingered? We said this deck was probably good in matches that care about our sweepers. This is definitely qualifies as a match that cares about our sweepers. Alright, Rad Chad, show them why you're the coolest. Chad Nauseum. Yeah, I've seen Nassif played around with something like that at one point. Right, they drew Collected Company here, but I don't think two hits exist in their deck to let them not die here. Well, they went wide, and then we just, like, smacked them in the face, and we're like, no, stop it. Alright, so you're dead in the sky. That's why we attacked like this. These are my tutus. My tutus are amazing. We don't actually have that many sideboard slots for a matchup like this, which, like, really isn't surprising, right? Like, this matchup's pretty good from the start. Trim I think Bitterblossom. I'm gonna trim Thoughtseize, actually. I'm gonna leave some of my top end in here. Just waits to generate card advantage as we get to the late game. I have one question about what is the meme about people asking for timeouts. So, basically, there are people in the Magic community who get very upset that I time people out for breaking the chat rules. Like, a lot of chats on Twitch are basically free-for-alls. Like, so long as you're not, like, screaming racial slurs or profanity, you can say whatever you want, even if it's, like, mindless, obnoxious, or annoying. And I don't let my chat be a free-for-all, and we time people out when they don't follow the rules. And people like to act like it's some kind of great atrocity I've committed by timing them out for 10 minutes in my Twitch chat. So people to make fun of those people that have no bearing on, like, what actual wrongs are in life. People ask for complimentary timeouts to make fun of the people that think getting timed out's a big deal. Higgs Bossin 2, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. That hand is kind of scary. Yeah, I got you, Obz. Like all good memes, the timeout meme has some real depth to it. Yep. I missed a donation. I'm in for Chad Nauseum. Skip Dash. It's been a while since my last time out. I got you. I got you. Our Anthem effects, like, Honor the Pure, too slow for Modern. It's not only that they're too slow to a degree, but cards like Honor the Pure and other Anthem effects like that are cards that aren't individually powerful. And Modern's a format where the linear decks tend to get under synergy decks pretty consistently. And the non-linear decks, the interactive decks, tend to pick interactive decks apart. So they have Trips, Shaman of the Pack in their hand here. I do already have cards for Titan, but rules are rules, so if you want to push Rakdos up to 100, I'm happy to shuffle the order. But otherwise, it will go up on the YouTube as always. Do I want to Bontu's here? No, I think I just want to get Lad Chad going, huh? I think I just want to get Lad Chad going. Well, we can Bontu's next turn after they get a Shaman of the Pack into play. The thing about Bait Spirits with Fire, I think it's a really interesting innovation, but it's not one I've played with yet, so I don't really have a good bearing on it. Okay, this worked out well for us. We're going to get more value off this Bontu's, and we didn't have to get drained for a bunch by Shaman. I probably want to just Gideon Emblem, right? So that way they're obligated to kill Gideon here, because there's a good chance we just get drained out by these things. If a mod types timeout in chat, the bot tags me in chat asking me to help them time out the mod, because as the ruling power here in Hoglandia, I am the one with that one. Missed an attack for 1 point. No, that was Summoning Sick. Leroy Jenkins. What's going on, Pikes? Thank you for the biddies. Happy to get that one moved up for you. They do lose their sword. I give it back when the time's up, but they do lose their sword. Shuffle that order around a little bit. How much to build? Chad nauseum. Yep, 50 is always the we'll build anything basically. Hopefully we find more Chads here, because I think this is gonna be a game where we end up surviving on the back of this Chad emblem. I think we're gonna end up at 0 here and just like only have this Chad emblem to survive on. Okay, I'll regrab your latest list. In response to this trigger, I'm gonna Fatal Push the Heritage Druid, because it's like using this push to kill 2 1/1s. Sirius 2001, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. So this has an intervening if clause, so I can kill their only other elf in response to the trigger, then they don't get the thing. We're playing red-black next. We're still gonna play Amulet today, but it's gonna be after red-black since red-black got bumped up there. We got plenty of time to get to lots of decks today. I wonder if I'm supposed to just be beating in with Chad here, maybe? Nah. We got Shambles here to start attacking. Whew. Never mind on Shambles. We got Rad Chad here to the party. We're gonna win this game on 0, just on principle, I think. On principle alone, we're gonna win this game at less than 1. Yeah, the plan is to do upward of 12 hours today. Do I still periodically play Legacy? No. Legacy content's just not very popular. So it's far less profitable to be making than modern content. And I just haven't been enjoying the format. I don't know that we're quite in can't lose territory. They're actually dead on board, right? So yeah, we are at can't lose because we're going to kill them in the air with the Chad emblem next turn. So I've been to and played at many GameStar over the years. In that time, there has always been one person that's super salty they got timed out in Jeff's chat. The real unfortunate thing here is because we're going to win this next turn, we're not going to kill them at less than 1. Sweet. We got the 4-1. Yeah, Distrominator, to cut decks into my current schedule while the stream is live, I usually look for a $100 donation. That being said, Heartless Gitrog will be basically at the top of the queue for the start of the next stream. So if you don't want to cut it into today, it'll be at the top for next time. But again, the amount to cut into today's stream is high because it makes me do extra work. But I don't mind. Dollars are dollars, but, you know, fair's fair. Anywho, this is a deck we've played on stream a number of times in the past. I think this deck's actually on my website. If it's not, it probably should be. I think it is. It's under fan favorites. This one not on my site? All right, well, we're going to add this one to the website, I think, after this. Yeah, we're going to get this one added to the website. We've played a few leagues with this one, and while I think this deck against the more aggressive and linear decks in the format, especially decks like Tron, it's a little bit worse than Green Black Rock. I do think that this deck is very competitive in a variety of matchups and is definitely good against decks like Green Black Rock because you go a little bit bigger than those decks. Also, any creature-based decks, any decks that really care about sweepers are going to be pretty good matchups for this style of deck. The one thing I think I would look to change, there's 2 things I would change in this deck. I think playing 4 paths and 2 pushes is some nonsense. I think you should just play 4 copies of Path to Exile. I think Path to Exile is just one of the best cards you can be playing in Modern right now, and not playing 4 of them before you play other removal spells is a mistake. The second thing is that while I think some split of sweepers to play around Meddling Mage is fine, I think because we have Bontus and Damnation, playing this Day of Judgment over another Wrath of God is kind of silly. So I think my feedback for changes I would make to this deck if I were to play it again is I would make 2 Fatal Pushes, 2 Path to Exiles to round out that playset, and I would turn the Day of Judgment into a Wrath of God. So I think the sideboard felt pretty okay. We got a pretty flexible set of answers here. We went 4-1 in that league. So I have to grab some stuff here. We're going to be doing Rakdos mid-range up next, and then Amulet Titan to follow. So let me just grab some cards for those. We'll be on our way. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day wherever you're at.